Watch your level. Watch your level.
Right.
Frame up.
Okay, Phase 2.
Okay.
Go!
How you doing? So welcome into the Film Freak podcast. We're going to be unlocking the cinema universe one reel at a time. If you have a problem with cursing, you should probably find a different podcast because this ain't going to be for you. So I guess I should explain why I'm doing this. I am obsessed with movies. My first AOL screen name was Film Freak 01. Back in the day, I used to stalk movie websites when I was in high school and try and find out trivia and any production details that I could find out. This was pre-internet, so it was usually like a book or something weird like that. I know, kind of periodical situations freak people out these days, but what are you gonna do? I feel like my friends are gonna listen to this later and go, why the fuck were you talking like this? It's because I'm high. Cannabis. It's just one of those things that calms a bitch down. Like I said, my first screen name was Film Freak 01, so when I decided to start this podcast, I was like, well, obviously I gotta call it the Film Freak podcast because bitches returning to her roots, you know? I originally went to film school in a pre-9/11 environment. After 9/11, I went to work in some kitchens. I was a cook for a while, nutritionist, personal trainer, that kind of stuff. But I kind of bore people to death with movie trivia, so I figured I would stop basically boring my fiance to death and, bore you guys to death. Welcome to the fucking party. So this first episode is gonna be like a introduction. I was planning on starting this last week, however, shit gets fucked up pretty usually in my life, so that did not work out for me. You're going to be listening to this on Tuesday, April 2nd. I didn't want to start this on April Fool's Day because it's a fucking stupid holiday. So welcome into episode 1 of the Film Freak podcast. We're going to be talking about pretty much everything. We're going to dive deep into the world of cinema. We're going to dissect the shit that just came out. We're going to talk about classics. And I'm going to talk about some weird shit that you might not have ever heard of. Come hang out, come listen, subscribe, do all that shit. One of my favorite podcasts to listen to is the Mark Maron podcast because homeboy starts his podcast off with, what the fuckers. So, it's really difficult for me not to start this like that, but what are you gonna do? I really like talking about trivia, different things that have happened in movies that people don't know about. One of my favorite things to talk about is Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. The movie was originally filmed using 3D technology. By the time they got done with it, production, editing, all that, 3D wasn't popular anymore in cinema, so they just flattened it and then released the movie that way. Universal Studios Orlando used to have an exhibit that presented The Birds in 3D. It was only like a sequence. It was like a couple minutes or two. But it was really cool to see that. And I think it should be re-released in 3D and like a large scale thing. That's my opinion. I would see it in the theater. I recently saw a couple movies that I'm gonna devote full episodes to because one of them was really cool, and then all of a sudden, like at the end, it just kind of fucking goes off in the left field, and you're like, the fuck? Did somebody like drug the production team? Because that's a thing that's happened before. But this movie's like normal, left field, like I don't know. And it was the last 10 minutes, so it was really confusing. But I'm going to talk about that in a couple episodes. I guess this is just my hello introduction episode, so I won't keep you too long. I will be back on Thursday of this week. So my second episode, I'm going to dedicate to the 1997 movie Cube. It is pretty much the first, in my opinion, it's like the OG escape room movie. Other movies have duplicated sequences and different things that this movie has done, and I'll talk about that on Thursday. But it's a great movie, so if you haven't seen it yet, check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. I think it's on Freevee and Tubi too, but I'm not sure. So just look at my Facebook or my social media, and I'll probably link it. But check it out. It's called Cube, Cube, 1997, and it's it's a sick movie. We're gonna talk all about it. We're gonna talk about different shit that happened while they were making it, different shit that had happened with the sequels and the prequels, all sorts of shit. So yeah, I will keep this relatively short and sweet. I do have some sponsors, so if you could go to my website, take a look at them, see some of the stuff they have. So I do wanna shout out a couple of our sponsors really quick. The first being Flags for Good. Flags for Good was developed by a guy named Michael, and he was pretty pissed off during the quarantine, and he decided to start a company basically to re-release flags. So he moved to Indianapolis. He does this full time. He redesigned the state flags to include LGBTQIA colors. And so like the Florida, he has two for Florida. One has like a rainbow, and the other one has like the trans colors, the light blue, light pink, and then the white. And I don't know if you've ever seen the flag for Florida, but it's basically like a fucking X. So it's cool. I have both of those flags hanging up at my house. It's really cool. But I love Flags for Good because they donate a portion of each flag, relevant world-changing organization. They deliver them in the most earth-conscious way possible. They use as minimal amount of plastics as possible. They're a great company. So if you ever want to go check them out, make sure you use the code Samantha Ponzillo Media for 10% off. I have all of this set up through my photography company, so you're going to be hearing my name a lot. I'm sorry. The other company that I wanted to shout out is Casa Brews. Casa Brews is really cool. They are an innovative coffee machine company, and I don't know if you know this, but I kind of stopped drinking a certain coffee company. I kind of stopped going to a certain coffee shop because I didn't want to promote stuff that I didn't feel comfortable promoting anymore. Anyways, so we got a coffee machine, okay? And the fucking thing is amazing. I love having an espresso machine at home. I was a barista once, so I'm a coffee snob, and I fully admit it, but it's really nice having a coffee machine at home. I'm half awake, and I just hit the button, and there's espresso. And I love espresso. It's the only real, like, snobby thing. No, I'm a snob. I'm a food snob. But yeah, whether you're a coffee connoisseur or casual drinker, Casa Brews machines are sure to become a staple in your kitchen. And they're a staple in mine, so let's fucking go, man. The final sponsor I'd like to shout out for this episode is On Location Tours. They are the premier movie sightseeing company. You go to Boston, you can go see shit from The Departed. You go to New York City, you can do the Sex and the City tour, Gossip Girl. You can go the Sopranos tour. Bro, it's fucking hysterical. Chicago has like a Ferris Bueller tour. It's so cool. They are the premier sightseeing company for movies, for bus tours, walking tours, whatever. I know they do tours in New York and Boston, in Chicago, in LA, and I think they do stuff in South Carolina. I think it's like Dawson's Creek and One Tree Hill and stuff like that. I think that's what those are. But I'm really excited to take Mo on a tour when we go on vacation in the summer. I'm super excited to do one of these movie tours. Great thanks to On Location Tours for their sponsorship. I really appreciate everything they've done. I'll let you guys go for now. Pretty much enjoy the movies, fuckers.
A Samantha Ponzillo Media Production.
Since 1993, Babeland has been committed to providing top-quality products as well as inclusive and sex-positive education. All of their staff are trained sex educators to help encourage and empower their customers to explore their sexual selves, whether shopping online or in their award-winning stores across the country. Their goal is to provide accessible and stigma-free resources through in-store interactions, online chat, college and university seminars, and their free online virtual events and workshops. Their Come for a Cause philanthropy program supports and uplifts communities throughout fundraising efforts for both local and global organizations. Babeland, come for a cause. Blenders Eyewear isn't your typical sunglasses brand. Blenders Eyewear was founded on passion, and the brand prides itself on radical design that unabashedly pushes people outside of their comfort zones. They are for the pleasure seekers of the world, the ones who lust for life's adventure, and the people who will not stop until they find it. Blenders Eyewear, life in forward motion.